오 랭게 공감사 어디 야가 남시대 야고 제치로라 점점 지나오네 끼우시도 시다 랭게 지도 내가 치마시 미시 창교데 조금 미시 람가라 차스 야고스타디 딜도 아 캐날 서비스라 소다 드링크 랍치도 디샤 캐날 서비스라 칸니니 비치치스 아 비치치 먹어 주나 약쇼르와 소사 드링크 랍치도 디체 tamashni tingsa kanala masu chala nyu do kumbu ngranzo sujunka kamni shurwa ta gashe chore kanala chala sugime institution ni nanglon chikdi ta dringa zule zindi chida chade empathy ngranzo impena chal kanala nanglol chala khni sugime institution sonsa empathy ngranzo dringa zule zindi chida zo de chade ngranzo suiste shu and chola chambla Franzi ki da tuji chita sha joyo mari chine chala pyuba ya thabuche ai kana la sugi mes je Franzi sawe thamchari sha andi gang ya Franzo tinda goju ji sta juyo ma de dharmsala gi ji je tinda tholo drosh pa de la lobyen china na ya ta de hal level sha Fran shunge ji che ani tinda chala din su pyu ta ko andi nang lon ding sim shu di Franzo be ji zo la pa chi pyue chorwa tholo drosh so la to na ya ta de thong ni kanal chala sugi koram mes sonsa timone halle por stonson antring to trinki lecente jinda na tuche sueta takbar to kurang simshu ta tingning dop jora ti halle por sonsa dile jesu na shueche ani ngaran so liman su yimbe ni hongda bi shunge songli ni gen so la kang to de gen na kurang da chazi da deoje se bi sham sha she tuche.
Welcome to Raiffeisen headquarters. And I spent my all savings into an internet company. And I lost all my money because this company went bankrupt. That chik norva, that yanja je norse.
Similar la lamsu gyuni chigi puji ta tenda sis nanglo la tankera chibuti ki ta genki ni chayo.
When you are young, you fix how much money can I save for the long run and invest that in pure equity. You invest these $50 monthly in the broad market. Sounds very boring, but that's the right way because people underestimate the compounding effect. I have also this FOMO, this fear of missing out feeling. Yeah. So they speculate in Bitcoin or in single stocks. You do whatever you want, but this is my personal view and my personal belief.
Tangi pyoge di khabu cheong sunguda chalage nge shuyun ba ngaju ki legend mixe gi nga pyoge yago yos che ngomsa che mares ba yang di pyoge yago du min du tazu ji sa che mares chula chige rang la chung chige rang la chalong chung gerwa samlo jura ti nga pyoba ins che ti shuk chung da jiwan che
Welcome to Raiffeisen headquarters. Welcome Bhuchung at Raiffeisen headquarters. There are not so many bankers within Tibetan community, right? Not so many.
shrayo samarda
Shrayo samare. Beba mangche this karsa. Tangis che tanda indo rikshu. We rather do jobs which helping people, helping marbe.
No.
This is the tendency. I don't know. You tell me. You see all the people around the world.
Lao. Peba ine di.
No, peba mangche
peba mixe gi tanda mugana chale na ni che mixe gi chula na shi tinde dis kombudo.
Kombudo.
tingala ngarangi chula la tangshu mixe to nang le jora business psychology shura nanyima lobzen len chi simkam ko psychology da sociology na shugo nge postgrad like nge entrepreneurial leadership len ba degi ngarangi mixe to nang ro che jinele ngam business kan la kyone kodo pe nyurwa anta chula nyim de language ti khandero ngarangi dangi na mena same jora tongat le chula gi kugar nang to chi cherwa manjo mixe gi da manjo ji zo nang la tindi gi to la ta kodo pe de kejim ro shida 믹스에 슌게 나올라 되게 졸라님도 티지 중 거의 중서 안서 당부 고마 중을라 아 졸라서서 뭐들지는 한데도
다 독도지 쉐이냐 롭세 나 수슬라 이게 게네 봐 이게 민을 뜻이 곰바장 이 아니 다 찰롱 게저 찰롱데 수슬 제브레 아니 what's important I think 다 수스키 다 팀사 페바 오츠 망부도와 my parents were in first group so-called first group 수슬라 레저레 kana first group sinata in the 60s
and pastor is the children's village marwa
mare so my parents came about Bhuchung somewhere there from India to Switzerland and titukabla suski shung refugee 1,000 refugee from Tibet the Tajidwa. So 1,000 people, Tibetan people, can come to Switzerland. And that was the so-called first group. Then that second generation, so she chayorwa. And they get salong there, darang. And why I'm telling this? Karena ngej tewe inarwa. Tangin peba mimang tat sambuling la kawa kaca peba mangbu yorwa ani sus nang la da tat imsam peba mangbu dua ots mangbu dua yawo chitebina that background damindra yore different backgrounds still we are all Tibetans so we have common sense che the rikshun so common sense yorwa yine when we look from inside perspective that's my point of view, of course. The group different than the mangbuchi yore. Why this is important? When I explain my life, so I come from a certain group, specific group. So this is the second generation born and raised in Switzerland. Kari injena kechembo kari insena pesana nga nge salong chisde la halam peba yo mare ba ta domo roba nzo ganga lapta ina laga ina susmire ba so maybe for some Tibetans it's hard to imagine kana most Tibetans are living in jizo in the peba yosarwa so you live amongst other Tibetans
right.
So you have a community, you have a kind of and you have kind of Tibetan lifestyle. This. So I grew up in a very Swiss surrounding very Swiss. So honestly, I don't have much practice speaking Tibetan. That 제일 lapchachi lache lapchunchine Swiss jigbarwa ani ke kora lagdwa uni domushen ke go practice lakche ani 당디다 라체 당디에 this cancer was charge 봐
당다 나담도
문에
그래서 졸라 이디 쓴거다 당이 벽에 가고 제형 쓴거다 졸라게 이게 쉬운 봐 나지기 레전드 믹스기 나 벽에 야고 요새 몸사지에 말했어 봐 그냥 네 벽에 야고 누우면도 따지지서지 말했어 그래서 나 나지기 드링기 믹스에 등제디 개치슈디 간주지조 나올라 오 아주 베베 잘 미낭로라 잘해나게 된대제 도다스제 지도로 보게지체 아니네 아주 슝게조라 즉 로기게지 인스파이어체 아 개치슈디체 아니 졸라 나싱도 지조 나올라 아주 치게랑라 중 치게랑라 살롱 청거와 진일 딩기 나로기 삼로조라 티나 프바인스제 티슈크좀보다 졸라 슈슈가스 슈누게 잘해 망고나자 가진가 졸라고라 디스트릭 리서치에 탑시체르바 설모 저먼 나등도
그래?
German na tigo tu ta engine nang lo translate che pa gyur che ta yo
Re.
podcast zu gram do chinele ko chu di nang la nga phe ba yin si je chi lo gyu di sung tu deng gi di so de shuk chung bu sam sam ru sta ti gi ta nga zo ya ma che je le sa nga zo den den ji zo nang lo la ni ka she gi sam lo nang lo po ta ti phe ba yin le do ya phe ge ya wo shing du ti sam si re ni
Re.
da phe ge nang da im do ra ani de mai nang ju gi so deng ji di 다 벽에 몸사다 벽에 야고도면도 따지지서 게 말했어 되게 시원하지 라오줄라 되게 줄라 가서 뭐 키우스 중사 줄라 된다 공부창 시제 디 파미 능력이 민도 줄라
다 밤이 낭기 밍레 이나 땅 이제 법아 녜마디 낭기 밍 세겐지 요 말아 봐. 봐. And the story ngone the curious story ji yore the back this name kana nge phama so 다 변이 땡아리니 봐. 땡아리 제 독바래. 독바. 봐. 니자. So dini desus letukala chizoti nangla 다 로바 파츠인데 가시 열어봐. 이제 마음제 감기 미임부터 봐. 감니. 아니 디두갑라 다 미장기 민지 거래스 라기도 와. 스스키숑. So you have to fix family name. So that's out of fantasy.
철렁문이 요 말.
kumbase나 ngone that this related to home country home place ji 여베타 민 kumbase나 동바세가 공바세가 닌데지 여베타 창세계 당원에 that's really out of fantasy right then 공바창지 차도 so that's a very artificial name I would say right
근데 믹스이 유럽 그라 그랑기 패밀리 민 카레스 제 기저티 기 숙청부도
스페셜 첨부 요리데
딱 먼저 있나 패밀리 민 믹스이 개요 말에 중도 가서 한 믹스이 지게 유럽 그라레디 패밀리 민디 기저티 룩소 숙청부도 나의 섬스카자 나갈 패밀리 민 고도 섬사 나 디레 야갈 살론 중에데 중도니 별로게 안 중도니 야갈 조르지 야갈 살론 중거라 파마 초콜릿 신기요 말에 사자 콜다 신기요 말 되니 레스 제 이저 다 도큐멘트 나로라 카르티 요바디 마시 댕기 징아 되니 인스 디 신기요 말와 쇼쇼지
진짜
제네랑랑 중도가 없어 살론 중서데 벽임랑 TCV 벽임랑라 살론 중디 단 나랑 기민디 콜라 벽임스 제 자르고 메제 섬사 지고는 고드 섬사 그래서 나 벽임디 나랑라 다 카팅 치부체 딩 카티네 소소 tensu chejido
레레레
벽임디 샤고 메제 섬데다 직 패밀리 밍스 고는 고드 섬에줘라 라운디기 졸라 소소기 근데 파마초 갸가니 주 스위스 레페교를 했습니다. 콘소 동아 갸갈라 조르티 내단 100도 주나 킹게나
다 딱딱지 강가 딱딱지 하고 매다 너무 쉐비네 이네 다 저거 뒤에 퉁 뒤에 콘소 툭툭 라직 니데지 임부터 변이 쳐도 잘 봐. 아니 바일랩제 바일로 찍니스데 아니 디젤 자스 심라라 페브레 아니 피기 이 졸라 심라 레 람갈라 지게 제 티니 피기 디 레드 크로스 도와 스위스 레드 크로스 아니 피기 자갈라 하는 로직스 마도 데요 말이 봐 아니 이 졸라 피기 게제 죽주락 숨 티니 죽주랍시 딘데징랑 스위스라 레 디레 종디디스 독도지 쉐이냐 봐
디야 나란즈 치게와다 마다와 나란즈 기 동디 믹스 차기오라 디낭로니 졸라기 파마초 심라라 람수 gyuni chigi 부지다 된다 시 낭로라
레
땡케라 치부디기 다 겐기니 차요라
and besides that 닉 파마 they were dokpa 땡아리 dokpa 봐 so dokpas are very I mean, they have their own lifestyle, you know that. Right? And they were very uneducated. So, there were no one single day in school. Right?
No.
So, besides that, you mentioned very uneducated
uneducated lane dirdo 콘솔 댕기 삼로디 축부도 콘솔라
네.
틸로디 신규 말마시 제 로야 디마시 이네 댕기 삼로다 직 금젠다 저 나고다 콘솔
오, 디페 메시어리. 다 tung 슈셰. 마 쟁기도 돼.
먼저 삼삼삼당 값을 몽대도 다 캔소다 이네 약오 삼당 디ገብ로로 금진 축치보여 즉 디어 믹스에서 코란즈기 디급수 셀주라 게 만다스다 스킬 만다스
Absolutely.
chola ta tenda Swiss nanglola pepaza mase Swiss rangi pochegi ta nedang chila chadeora chola degi gyabjong thongma ingle dang ro chora chungdi ne lobjong chidang ta degola chiksunda
That says that's mixeyo mari nga peshana nga Swiss I'm a normal guy. Right? There are a lot of bankers in Switzerland. There are a lot of well-educated people in Switzerland. So maybe the special story about me is because of my roots. Right?
yeah
Actually, and ani karsa nga lobchun di jeraba de Switzerla Benjor gi rikshun kor. So economics,
당분이
business administration first. I started business administration with flavor of banking and finance, specialization of banking and finance. And then Credit Suisse la large in Lokashis, Credit Suisse la large. And after that, I made further education, postgraduate education in industrial and organizational psychology in Germany. Then after that, I studied in Munich politics, philosophy, and economics. So as you can see, the education, and not only education in the early years, which is the base, very important, but also nowadays the ongoing education. So you have to learn, I think, very important, till your last day on this world. So in modern times, I think it's very important to always to learn something new. Keeps you fresh, keeps you fresh and updated and connected to the world, connected to the people, and so on. Yeah, and Credit Suisse Lahache, Lokashi, Lobjung DJ, postgraduate organizational psychology. And typically bankers in Switzerland, they move in young years from bank to bank, more or less. So it's like soccer player. You change your club. Soccer the club change. Why do they change the club? Actually, it's to see new club, new impulse, new learnings. Also have maybe promotion. So it's important to change from time to time, to let your old place behind you, even it was comfortable. So that's the one learning. Not get too much to do. Susuchik lagajik cheve in a place chik lebe in a that tuzo odds chik deva in a susu routine routine the expertise to young and the routine the expertise give us so it's a kind of easy going and so it makes you lazy
challenge
it makes you rather lazy and passive. You don't learn more. These situations you have to change. You have to bring you to the next level. Don't stay in your comfortable place. Leave your comfortable place. It's important for you to grow. And no matter we are talking about job, it's also in private situation. I don't say divorce from your wife. That's not the same story. Keep yourself fit. Lüze dus marbe. Lüze takbaresh, chikba chikba chijena nima takbaresh. your muscle gets used to it and doesn't grow anymore. So you have to change your, I don't know, your sport or whatever, your level. Learning for the young people who are watching your podcast.
Yeah. Chila tenta di ngui dang zi rang la ma jang la yang khang ba gi so gye che de chik yan jang sar ba.
That was my very first apprenticeship. Lagdua, Suzla. That thing one tungdi kari insena, the nature di kari insena, tangima di lochung jie di pamegi mangbuji karsa influence yoruba. pamegi influence yore kana pamegi pugula dis 제시적이래 그런 딘데 지에 요래 딘데 possibility 딘데 options yore pamedi 개체무지 롤 질레기도 와 룸바델라 modern life 다 ngense 제도장이 다 파마조 uneducated 제 소다나 라가지 니만 인제 so they couldn't help they didn't know anything about what's going on here. So a lot of Tibetans in my generation or before, they were alone, and kind of alone, right? Support your mother, right? And support meetang and titugabla. I just took the first job I got. The first job, I didn't think about what are my skills or what are my interests. Didn't your mother, right? So that was my first job. So I went to made apprenticeship in the engineering bureau, which was building bridges, streets, and so on. Right? By accident. 아니 니마 당보도 패길래 두가 오네 나라 하산스 가리 삼스 캔자 콘서 가리 내가 디데 캔자 도나 조마서. right? And I stayed 4 years there. Right? I didn't have donang till the last day because that was not what I was interested for. Right? So that was a bit lost time. Right? And at that time I also realized that my Swiss friends, they had support from the parents. So the parents explained them what options are there out, what can they do, what are the possibilities and so on. What are your interests, your skills? That was quite a bad start then in the professional life.
And so chola so ki igi gaida masne dinge di khadi kochur.
During my apprenticeship 4 years, I realized that is the wrong place. And once 수수하거나 딱 오늘 디 노르샤스 then 삼로 망부지 코르도 와. 아니 you in the meantime you grew, you get 18 19 years, so you are not a child anymore, right? You become also aware of what's going on out there, right? So then I realized working in a bank, that would be the right place for me.
Api chale di union di kola lobjong shini kochur.
Re.
Ah, okay.
Re. Exactly.
And chola ki di khali business psychologist jugur kara.
Re. So that was quite later. So I made the classical banking education and banking career. Classical. Then business psychology or psychology in general, that came later in the next stage. Karena ta lokajis banking na lagaje lobjun je. So once I realized banking is very fixed on calculations and it's kind of exact science. Kind of exact science. And bankers, they like to tell you, I'm working in an exact science. It makes them feel like I'm very intelligent. I'm kind of engineer of finance. That's not true. Ghana markets out there, stock markets and capital markets, they are very, very influenced by psychology. Very much influenced by psychology. So psychology plays a very important role. And all the bankers are saying, no, this is not important. But it is the main role plays psychology, because banking is also kind of, it's made of people. These are not computers. So it's a lot of psychology. That's why I studied industrial organization psychology in Germany. So I wanted to know what's going on behind there. What's going on? How does psychology play this important role in economics in general, in banking, in finance? So that was the next stage.
Psychology simkan repong ni majang ngola chale na ta shugo jangchani chale na shida susula kheba laure gyo shukchi shi khartes psychology di jangchani.
What do you mean by that?
Psychology majang ngola chale na ngora mugang ta jigala shugo psychology jangchani yang chale na ro tingi porula ta psychology jangwa majang porula kheba damasne chishu ro di khartes.
Cheshe di ngasam gitu, how you look at the world. This sam gitu. Karena susu know how savage lerwa. So new insights rarwa. And you know the old world. And you are still in this old world, but things are same on the surface, but Suzuki changes completely. So actually, it's myself, my view changed a lot, because things they say same, right? So I would say that was the main takeaway.
Tingana psychology the shukche behavior kana indu mingam the dewache da komshil tenden gyo this kewa this to be girwa
Deep gechemuchi tungdu diare ani ngat some savage less the Bhuchung langar the gechichisma what has changed. One funny thing, the banking, you've got these meetings, discussions amongst bankers. All are same, all have more or less same education, or have more or less same view to this world. You discuss some topics. Suddenly, people realize, Tashila, he has studied organizational psychology. So suddenly people started to ask me, Tashila, what do you think from a psychology point of view on this topic? Dingune savage ledwa Suzuki di lobchun chene mizo ta koranti dingni ji so ji koran ya ji hagogi yoto on a new perspective savage thing yotos someday. Then get wa. So suddenly I became a role of expert, of a unique expert, because that's quite unique.
Yeah.
Most bankers they do. That was an advantage, of course, because you become a role which becomes more important in a way. You become a status of expert in a way, And you have some. It's also fine because Suzuki samsöda din저 that 미저 인기를 봐. 다 그런 운에지 야부지 하고 이어졌어. You become a kind of guru amongst the same people, right?
Yeah.
which is good.
Right.
Right.
저는 the organizational psychology 나 숨도. 디다 industrial psychology perulami 케바 로가도 요래 더도래 근데
That traditionally the university la this study jina in the subject in the konzonyamde di jigidwati, but this is kind of tradition. Right?
business psychology di shugodi ma deep sar dangyodo shiba.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
ngai nima nganzu gyala tholok do psychology len ro. 지용 로즈마시데 specific care 말아.
알레레.
다 child psychology 정교래 social psychology 정교래 상만염도 로지지. 주고 industrial psychology 디야 this interesting 로지도. 난 삼성 organize 더 로지.
더보죠.
나오나. 되게 졸라 따뜻다 스위스 뭐가 나로 잘래 먹나 람데 먹나 스위스 계급이 충충 쉬우지 민보 니니 쉬우지 지내를 무역이 돌아다 잠불링 나올라다 야다 고야도 차여라 디나로 졸라기 잘래나 기름 나올라 스위스 기무가 되게 상하다 맞네 가르래 공기도
Das ist 인간이 오늘 so that the 둥지여러 봐. 아니 that was not a plan, I guess. So it became accidentally the safe haven for money for the whole world. Right? That it's not only a nice story. There are also kind of questionable things, like during Second World War. That around Switzerland, all the countries were in war. And Switzerland, so bit clever, they made business with the Germans, with the Bats. They also made business with the Allies. They made business with everywhere. So at that time, that was the root, the base, this kind of skill, or I don't know, Karina, to make business with everywhere.
사모님 tumbu치.
상만이한테 tumbu치야지. 다 팀산딜라고도 와디 치에요 말했어. Either you are on this side or you that side, right?
neutral at you 말했어.
neutral 딩군에 야우요 말했어. 라고도 와 팀산 딩군데 디 거네 깨져 마음 쉐이도 와 봐주. At that time, or for a long time, they Swiss the kunsti was used to make business with everywhere, and it became a kind of island, safe haven for money from all around the world. Bishana, you can go to Jagar. I mean, you lived in Jagar for many years. Rich Jagar people, where do you bring your money? To Switzerland, UBS. Marve. You can go to Ari. Where do you bring your money? Switzerland, best place. Why? It's safe, political stability, currency very stable, strong. Stable also in kind of regulation. It's not like changing regulation every day. But stable, sure. Swiss bankers are very international. They speak any language. They have a high knowledge. So all this together, was a strong driver to become this place. And then one bad thing also we have to mention about tax. The organizations as well around the world, they are always trying to avoid tax. Still today. Still the man from Delhi, the rich man, he tries to avoid tax. The rich man from the States, the rich man from Norway, the rich man from Paris, the rich man from Munich. All of what they have in common, they try to avoid tax. which generally spoken is not good for society, because rich people have to pay tax for infrastructure. But for many years, those kind of people, the organizations, they try to avoid tax by bringing the money to Switzerland. And Switzerland had this bank secrecy, so you could bring the money without identification. So it's a kind of black money. So it's also a bit a bad story, because that was ethically not okay.
Swiss bank la tangzinang yi sunang gyur. Kurang la yang di che cho ma cho tangzinang yi.
That timsa everything has changed. So timsa de yo mari. That timsa kena peshana kena Germany rich man ina Swiss la das de pesha di kam na look che ane de Zurich la ke che de che yo mari. Kind of you have to prove the source of the money, and you have to prove that you tax the money in your home country. So regulation but this is not long time ago. The regulation disabled, so maybe 10 years or so. So till then, Switzerland was also, we have to admit, so a place for a lot of black money. Black money is in a tax avoidance. Because regulation is much harder than, for example, Singapore, which are similar banking places. Switzerland, very hard regulation in the meantime.
System dia ko so da khonjo gi so di. Diga na ngjo kya ta phoi mix gi phoi la ina ya chu wen is na interest ko shu do zam da phoi la kya le khalang zam yore. Swiss la interest ke me wa do wa. Chinele mi tsa nga gyab che tandu pa chela te gi gyo mar ba.
Interest inflation so what you have to look for is not interest alone. You have to look for real interest. A real interest is interest minus inflation. The interest inflation you get poorer over time. In Switzerland, inflation, for example, at the very moment is 1 point something percent. So very low.
So that Swiss that they are much jealous. Chala the mixi ki tanda sem kan ru kan la lobchon che ani a chi kan la lobchon chi di anjo mi get chi ki personal finance jora din nang lo la ta psychology mang che to khomsi chubala cholam da dio yora behavior da dio di mi chi ki penjo ya hucha ma cha di didang behavior barula dio do di khande sig do
that in needs mong shu jere kan root the so the kari sena mi mang che penjor koni pesha koni decision yawo ji sing yo mare mi mang che so we make bad decisions about money and wealth. So why? No, it's not because we are kukpa. Or is it lobchung me dendarbe? Maybe it's a bit lobchung education. But strongest root of that, it's our evolution. It's our brain, our software. In brain software, we have the wrong software for modern problems like finance. Kanang software brain is a result of 2 million years of evolution where humankind has been on the earth. And in these 2 million years, I would say 98% of this time, challenge was not danger. Challenge was surviving. Food, not starving, not dying of poisoned animals, plants, fighting against other.
Hierarchy theory.
It's a kind of So these were the challenges. So our software is made for this. Fighting, flying, or doing like being dead. Diese kind of instincts 여러분. So this software brings us to wrong decisions when we have to make decisions about money, about building up wealth, when we do decisions about investments. That's the main route. And that's why psychology plays a very important role, and education as well, because first step dirwa susu self-reflection you have to know what's going on with me. Why do I act like this? So this you can get through education and through education. And second step, you can maybe change something. So that's quite a hard way.
Yeah.
And instinct by this wrong software is very strong. I tell you all this stuff like a guru and I am the perfect. No, I'm not, absolutely not perfect. I am also doing all this everyday because your instincts, our instincts are so strong. They are stronger than your rational thinking. So that's the main problem. I give you an example maybe. In the software tells us losses are more important than gains. It's not so important like when you lose gomoja shorina. But gomoja is gomoja. From an economic point, a rational point of view, 100 is 100. There's no difference. But our software tells us 100 francs of loss is much, much worse than 100 francs of gain. So what do? We try to avoid any losses in our life, in our investment decisions, and so on. Because we are fearing from losses. That theory led to a Nobel Prize, besides. Nidoni, Kahneman, Tversky, they got Nobel Prize about this theory of loss aversion. That was the prospect theory, 2002. Nobel Prize for economic. Notabene, 2 psychologists got Nobel Peace Prize for economic, not economists, 2 psychologists. And that's one example why we behave wrong in those kind of decision makings about money, about wealth. Concrete, look at those people who want to build up wealth. What I see is everybody wants to build up wealth, even Bhuchung, right?
Yeah.
And what I see is most of the people do the wrong thing. So they try to get wealth very quick. And they have also this FOMO, this fear of missing out feeling.
Yeah.
So they speculate in Bitcoin or in single stocks. At the moment, everybody's talking about artificial intelligence. So you buy NVIDIA company or other kind of AI stocks. So maybe I got the right stock and I got millionaire overnight. So that's a kind of feeling many people do have. That's normal. Everybody wants to get rich overnight. The problem is, from a probability point of view, you don't get rich through this. Maybe you even get poor because you lost money. Building wealth is like marathon. It's not like sprint. Marathons you have to simply said you have to invest in the broad market, equity market, broad through index. Index. For example, S&P 500 in the States, index kind of global index, whatever. You invest in the index and you invest smoothly over time. So, for example, Bhuchung, when you have spare money every month, maybe you have 50 francs or 50 euro, $50 for saving. You invest these $50 monthly in the broad market. Sounds very boring. Most of the people react, oh, this is it sounds so boring, and this cannot be the way to get
excitement major.
No story about artificial intelligence, no story, just 50 francs, $50 every month in the broad market. But that's the right way, because people underestimate the compounding effect. Compounding is through compounding most people underestimate. Software is not made for exponential function. Our software is made for linear functions. So when you ask people 50 francs per month, okay, at the end of the year, 600 francs, this is okay. And after 10 years, 6,000 francs. But that's boring. It's like taking money in this. Very boring. I cannot build up wealth, but they underestimate the exponential compounding effect. So, is this message. Building wealth systematically is very boring, very simple, and takes time, like a marathon. And all the other kind of possibilities, you are gambling. And of course, sometimes gamble jene togidoa. Togiare. But yeah. So people are not taking into account probability. Software probabilities again we cannot handle this. We have very difficulties to work with probability. So some gambles like casino, probability to win is below 0. So you shouldn't try that because probability is below 0. But people they ignore probability. They love to ignore probability, and they rely on hopes, dreams. Our software is made for dreams, for illusions, for visions, for pictures. And the pictures you don't want. So, and not for probabilities. And that's why we act according to these dreams, to these wishes, and so on. But rationally, you have to try to avoid that and try to decide on rational background, on probabilities. And that's the contribution of behavioral finance, business psychology. That's the contribution. And that's what I'm telling the young people also. Because young people, their brain is very much made for dreams, visions, wishes. It's normal. And yeah, that's what I'm telling them.
Dream, hope, ideal.
Oh, exactly. Ta ngarang ngune ngajis dinge shedi ngune it's not only by what I have been educated on. But there's a lot of autobiographical stories. So I started working in a bank. Oh, I am so smart. I'm working in a bank and I'm working with those guys in investment department. So we are very near the markets. Smart. We so what I didn't realize is the markets are psychological. So you cannot forecast the markets. And at this time, the 2000er, the dot-com bubble, that Bhuchung king mare, Bhuchung ditugal ke mare, or you were very young. But in the 2000, there was a huge bubble, the tech bubble. Internet companies, in the lerva. Internet was quite new, and everybody thought through internet we got rich. And I spent my all savings into an internet company. The name was Maximum Technologies. So only the name was really like, the right place to get rich. Chasang dina look, because the markets there went up for months and months, for years. And then there was the bubble burst into 2000, the tech bubble. And I lost all my money because this company went bankrupt. This company has no substance. They had no substance. That was just an idea of doing something. So I lost my money. So I learned, okay, this is not kind of building wealth strategically. That's not the way. But I made a second, that ignore, from a psychological point of view. Niva noria di karin sevena, that pesha mangbuji la, that ngaran samsuti sams, hatangone di, Guinea, joya marshas. Equity markets, it's not the place to be. I just save my money in the bank account. So don't stay in the equity markets. So lochuts, I stayed from 20 to 30, I stayed away from equity markets. And I missed fantastic 10 years on the equity markets because I didn't do what I told you before. So that was the second fault. After the first fault, the second fault. And now I got older and wiser. So I'm telling the people, don't speculate. Go into broad market. The market will fluctuate, of course, that's normal. But in the long run, they are going up. And you profit from the compounding effect. So maybe I'm a guru today, but I made a lot of mistakes in my own life. So I know what I'm talking about. So unfortunately, I'm not a very rich man because of that. Exactly.
Broad market nang lola ma invest chilana invest is among bush jura kopshit lo dikhande gasar chula susu imbena
Tatik mune garsa that doctor share the big coverage. I tried. Don't listen to so-called experts. The more experts, most people they want to sell you something. Yeah, that's money. So most people want to sell you something, right? So keep it simple. Invest broad. Broad means, for example, that in the index in the global index from MSCI, so-called MSCI World. So, for example, take one of those index product which has very low fee, important, very low fee. And take, if you have a flavor for your own country, you can do a bit of a flavor. For example, if you live in the States, maybe you can take S&P 500 for 50% of your savings, S&P 500, if you believe in America, right? And the rest globally, or even everything globally, right? If you have any flavor. So keep it very simple and low fee. That's important. Right? And don't listen to bankers. And don't, right? Because their
Bankers
business is to get fees from advisory, from the products. It's not illegal. It's a profession, right? But what I tell the young people, keep it simple, keep the fees low, right? And start the marathon, because you have time for the marathon. When you are young, you fix how much money can I save for the long run, and invest that in pure equity. Because equity is again it's entrepreneurship. Behind the equity is a company. Behind the company is a product. Behind the product is a profit. Right? Entrepreneurship. Invest in entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is the root of profit. From where do I get profit then? Else? Then from entrepreneurship. That's the only way you make money legally. I mean, when somebody is trading drugs and making money, this is illegal. Right? So that's the only way making money. Right? Real estate, gold and Bitcoin, this is just a bit of speculation that the value will grow up. Right? But who tells you the value will go up for guarantee? Right? Entrepreneurship globally will work until mankind is not in the world anymore, but until we are on this world, entrepreneurship will work. Right? So that's very important. But this is very much my personal point of view. Right? I don't tell you don't go to your banker and you do whatever you want. But this is my personal view and my personal belief. Right? And this is something I will tell you also. I would tell you my mother, I would tell this my sons, I would tell this my friends, and of course my fellowships. Right? So I want to make sure what I'm saying, I can stand behind that. Right? I'm not selling anything. Right?
No.
That's important.
No.
Right?
Kisi chik zongi yuwa isna dili nyena tis tetsumda.
That's the difference. Right? Da peshana nga bank dile laga jiyo. Right? So this bank pays me a salary. So I have to work in the interest of this bank. Right? So sometimes I have to sell some products. Right? I do this, of course, because this is my job. I work for this company, right? But what I'm doing here is not selling a product. I try to give tips. Right?
Knowledge share.
Knowledge. Right? And so that's a difference.
Yeah.
Very important difference. Right?
Chula. Chula dinda suzuki chale dan dire. Te nima tawa chale tidan tiyo chale nangi ora.
Dangone di chop sao dwa. Da pujula ngal interview now there's a reason, right? So you obviously you realize that there's a Tashila quite well known. Why is it quite well known, right? So that has to do with my role in the company. Nge role nge lega di representative sorry the public nang la yorwa public nang la yotsa. So you find my face everywhere in the social media, and I'm also giving interviews in the medias, and I have a lot of presentations. I travel around Switzerland, and I make a lot of presentations in front of clients. That's why I am in a way well known. That's why you realize that there's somebody quite well known. 아니 nga상리도 that has to do with my, of course, ngi lagadi dusra dire ngi lagadi dire. 아니 ngi that's also kind of personal skill I have. It's not Tibetan language, but it's not my skill. But of course, not there. I can speak Swiss German with people, Swiss German, and I'm quite a good speaker. I'm quite a good speaker, and that's very important. As a matter of fact, I'm a kind of a unique person. Kind of manche in this industry are Swiss people, So once I came up, everybody talked about Tashi. This is Tashi from Raiffeisen, because it's not because I'm better or more intelligent, because I'm unique as a Tibetan. So when you look at me, I'm different, and also my everything is different. Also maybe my movements and the way I'm speaking, because I'm Tibetan. And that helped me a lot to give to raise this profile and to succeed in this role. So it's not only I'm a proud Tibetan, it helped me a lot to be a Tibetan. In this function, in this role. And I have a strong motivation to give something back also because of that, because it helped me. So I want to give something back, and the way I give back, I try to give back. Everywhere I am, in a presentation, in an interview, media, I also speak about my roots, about Tibet. And once you are good in your job, people are interested for you. People ask, can I invest? What's your origin? And then I have the opportunity to speak about Tibet, about Tibetan people, about our struggle, and about Gaudimache, and so on. And people love that. They love these real stories behind the real person. And this gives me a lot of satisfaction. So I can make the people aware of this. And also, it's like giving and receiving in a way. That motivates me very strongly. Can you understand what I mean?
Chalida Joyu, today, Chidam podcast in the same go either.
Yeah. So I'm quite an outgoing person. There's something else. That this I don't have this practice. Practice is so my dream, my vision is to speak Tibetan like I speak Swiss German. So I would become really a star. Because I have so much ideas in my head. I have so much stories, experience, and so on. And I not the share the parts, share the share the same to. I don't know when. To everywhere. So. But you need the language as a tool. So Tibetan is quite difficult for me, as you realize. But this is really my vision, to speak Tibetan like I speak Swiss German. So I would be able to unfold all these ideas and
idea that idea share
I don't know. I have a lot of ideas that on different topics, right? So what you are doing, social media, is so important. That's why I was motivating. Same the interview, the communication through social media spread over the world. It becomes even more important. This kind of communication. There's no internet. So you have only one TV channel, Swiss German. So you are not connected to the world. You are not connected with your fellows. Nowadays we have this chance to be connected. And you are one of these representatives of this modern world. So we have a lot of much more potential. And this gives us Tibetans very strong tool to even become stronger. To get connected. Oh. So we have so a lot of different tongues also.
되게 졸라 investment 간라 숨도 나줄래 asset tissue 등 아주 둥들도 배워줄라.
Exactly.
계좀 보셔야돼. 아니 되게 균형 알아서 먼저 배배지조도 가사 칼라 털되어라. 디버를 삼바체. 쉔게 믹스기 졸라 나신 즉 차시 아이디어 망고 얘기든지 야 구딩이 된줄래 셰어체. gembatsui logiu da de shumbatsu she shumbatsu idea den zu gembatsu district kentusna now ani kechishung anzo 땡제 딘데기네 졸라나시 군들 계신분데 문이 지존항로 냠냠 망부사 잘래 망문한교 딘주기 로유니에리다 데 고급시리다 exactly 되게 안저 까메 트레이닝이 졸라기 팟캐스트 탭 recommendation 디 체사 버룰라 슈게 졸라 podcast 탭인데 로그 웨인스나 데 recommendation 되나
야 아하 문제성아 니마디 하고 마스르바 다 단다 부줄라 냠드 파수 제와 제라바 당군이 망부지 때위 빼야우도 봐 because different topics different people 봐 so many inspiration 오늘 좀 빼야우도 오늘 this kind of so important and so impactful. Impactful. Then, generally spoken, I mean, books, recommendation. There are so many good stuff. There's so many good material in the web. There's no specific kind of recommendation from my point of view. No, not really.
졸라 당저 중마딩올라 졸라기 소소게 냠용은 당저 되게 신경 졸라 미세 망고 다 된다 파이낸스 다 되어 요거 돈다 망고 수요라 진nel이 집다 소소기 미지기 캡존다 단다부터 냠뉴 사교 나오네 그래서 신경에 미세기 도버졸라 메시지 도지스나
다 message generally spoken education 게체미슈르 So first priority always education. And kari lobjung kari ina dangune it's different according to your personal preferences. What is your interest? Passion 게체미 슈슈레 상기도. Passion can aha in the interviews you have so different people, actors and hairdressers or whatever. Dinze mune lobjung karina the passion die gecheshi tungduna. Kana once you've got passion, you get success in any field. And success is of course not the only thing that matters. It gives you also inner peace. Kana job is very important. that's what you are doing the whole day. So it gives you inner peace, very important. And so that's why education is most important. As I said at the very beginning, education is a lifelong task. Stay curious.
Rare.
Stay curious. Like your job is being curious. Stay curious, because as long as you stay curious, you stay fit, you stay active. And that purpose tanga di laye di ngone khago sore chichawe du kana ngara di ngone di yago job masro ba ke laye di pye laye di ngone I heard so many times from my father that pye love gore pye love gore. I didn't listen to him, honestly. I had other interests, other ideas, as I said, amongst those society I lived. And this is something I regret very much. So for the young people, don't forget your roots. Don't forget your roots. Be proud being Tibetan. There are so many reasons to be proud. And try to practice language. Stay in touch with all kind of people. If it's Swiss, if it's the place you are in America and Canada, it doesn't matter. But also with the older people, with the older Tibetans, with the lamas, and everybody, because there are so rich stories which are heritage of our land, our origin. Yeah, that's and stay happy, relax, relax. Don't overwork. So and keep this kind of. That means purpose again. Ngone this chik tua.
Similar shade.
Similar. Di yagudo, be yagudo, ngone this is can ngone strength re.
Chola tenda overwork manang sumuda. Nga de Swiss la len strada dogo marchine le misto chik tapa chik doto ba dochi.
Busy.
Shoes chola so and lele chana. Chola so ki daily routine de chik suma digu.
The daily routine sana Suzuki success dona yana lega mangbuji chigoro ba. But it's like playing football. Soccer, good example. You don't have to run 90 minutes like a crazy. Messi is not running 90 minutes like a crazy. He even runs less than the average, I heard. But in the right moment, in the important moment, digabla, you have to succeed. You have to perform. Dingone geche mujitungdu.
Being paid na shasta.
A DJ, and never forget, that's one important thing. I forgot to mention. Dinga kechimuchi tungitu. Health. Health is very important, like education. Without health, anything else is nothing. And in the purpose, so I don't have statistics. But in the purpose, manche this we don't have this. This. So the way we eat. Kala sadaina, luze. Luze ina. This potential yes it is. So you ask me routine. Every day, do something for your body. Karena ngenzuki body di is that's a kind of tool for our life. Tool di chola shoro ina. So you cannot work anymore.
Idea
So everything else is nothing then. So everyday routine, do something for your mind, of course, for your education, for your friends, for your fellowship, but also every day do something for your body. I'm not saying do for your body to look good, to be the most handsome one walking around showing off. Di Marta, do something for your body, for your health. That's what I'm talking about. Di nga sam gitu pebetong this potential do, and eating and drinking and smoking and so on. That has a lot to do with that. With that, right? Di geht schon bestimmt do. The schön but the game but also. So ina.
Music segi jelam shura. The psychology, the behavior kejim bachagi.
Exactly.
Now.
Exactly.
The mixeki the 5 blue zone. The zugi meeting to serbu kajin digore mata du konjugi routine dinamudi shela cheda supu ki trading the activity in so pe kejim bachagi do na.
Pe kejim bachagi.
Nima nga the tanga zugi nima ningang di shuji chima to nerwa. Nima chik nang lo chuzu chik jitang to na ya go re sungu da nima chuzu chik nang lo kama nishu 2020 stre kopshe kya kama nishu subo kama nishu samlo kama nishu sosyo ki ta sem shura inde ro di cheto ne shu pempo yong sare le da.
Absolutely.
Azu mixe professor la segi chelam di tis chi to ya ge da to mangbo yo ra khali azu nima ningan chabe cha dong chi
on kapse se
나 전에 나오기 위해서다. 양 디 계정면 있어.
네.
같이 디 안주 오늘 소수 롱버쇼 근데 강에 뭔가 중국대 지내래 흘려지지 나오기 위해 강에 가져내 나오 샘 흘려지네. 디기야 최대한 샘교 최대한 편부시다디.
네, absolutely. 디에 계층을 수시통도.
나오.
Yes.
또 단도 창문염도 난 수고 최대인데. 나오 뛰어난 Mansuki energy dane log ye energy de this na teach condition just mansu mixe ki lobja khala ins na tenda penjo rikpa kan la mixe lobjong la be de discompora mixe ki ngui da de kan la dia mixe ya mixe ki de andi kechim nenga chimpor da mansu lobja khala tenyama sunghe jora ngui la ka uchi kyo mare sunghe jora 징이 촉세다 드리기 어때 지내래 딘디가나 롭종 고도 빼야지 계신보다 졸라기 야 수수기 롭종기 겹종래 잘레나이 겹종기 돈이야 롭다 카라 미세기 딘디골라 라베디 내가 체력 컨트롤 쓰기나
다디 팀사 데 계층을 인사 데 수술하다 슈스 파조 마무시 계시기도 financial illiteracy 라고도 미망망체 the education the on finance 요마르바 but 부준라 소년앙시 롭준디 매브체 이내 everybody is confronted 봐 미즈나마다 페샤 조단다 벤주 조단디 수이나 profession career you are confronted with those kind of problems so there's a huge gap in the problems or jichagido kana financial illiteracy leads to wrong decisions and impacts life of many people so the peshana dela suslatevina a lot of initiatives are starting to close the gap. For example, da peshana as an example we are Raiffeisen is going to the school classes teaching the kids. Yeah, I was also. So we're going to school classes to explain the kids how the economics and money and how is finance working, the principles, or how is pension working, pension system, then the savings and so on. And also on the web, I'm working with a professor from Basel, a finance professor from Basel, Korangi website so fin tools again. The website you can learn finance principles, which is free. So I work with him also on that project, kind of addressing financial illiteracy. Yeah, so these initiatives privately mongbuji yore ine nga nge samzo dire di mimangi neju yocha ta ngone chena laptop khora public laptop nangla chungdu kala this chi mizola buguzola di lap kodwa todandi. So main principles, not making finance experts with everybody. Principles for your life, personal life, and for your personal life decisions. Dinze di nangure samgidunge, da di be kaworesha. De lumba kane ina di kawo yoring. It's a peba the laptala de jik sava sogoresana be kawo chagidwa. Kana reformation of education system always very difficult. So even here the Swisla that keja mangbuji she yori di kone ngasamgidu tanda di lo mangbuji tanda korgire till we have some impact.
So lota kala pugula ngui la gauchi dan la legio mara ngui ngoshim bache ngui kito dan ngoshim hakwe ti khechim burda tagi exactly dida nyamda treche tagi chulagi ngonzo shun so that illusion dream dan didn't thom de mar sunga chora tigi ngonzo chirda ha moment nang lo dream hope ideas je siksum chore the deeper sula shaje chula sasu ki the next excited child next move to career as a project idea
nara my personal I don't know so talo ta lo chu chu yeri the rifas la chini en lo chu sam the rifas la sabbatical ragdwa sabbatical sena tawasum holidays paid by the company. So sabbatical I'm looking forward very much. So I ngatanda sam을 슈당에도 가르치면은 벽에 딩원에 yar게 땅에 탑시 슈 삼로지에 야면에 양께 사바 질라비에지 지당 사바 께 젠다 질라비에지 디야 this samlojidu right can ke savage lavina you learn a new culture new view as curiosity right
nimangzo dharamsala phemitic serial tinde do chiloni expert chure tinde yang aphala training da subjong de asosu ge nyamdo ke jaya che tinde gi nyama kugob to thingsa yeme shemasura nima shunge so ina pila nyamnyung sa gi diche and chilone expert tinde pe konjole shungi lejiba chola tinde ran to dang la be jora diche sosu shada shola ke dang tinde rikshung dola janga nguro tinde exchange to cheche de ya do da lo.
That's a very good idea.
Dia kami yama training chungsa lao
los
chola nga so tuje kala kan chin sra tuje
Bhuchung gao shera chungsungune ani nga konda shuyen 네 벽에 딩문이 교 슈슈레샤 나 단단 가라 암정에 네 벽에 상도 어지 당원에 섬디 간드 셰거레베 삼슈 아니 디 인지거레 라브도와
디디디다 내가 제일 많이 대 공도 쉬워나 시래 간저 디 벽에 정달 지선데 개 말와 아 딩하나 졸라인 베나 지게랑로 중교래 대살론 중교래 대 잘내는 기요래 아니 코리 우차사 니마 잘내나야 상만 미시만님도 되어지 기요라 소소 내단계 통내가 저 고추에로 지와 제넬레 할레버를 줄라서 쓰기 근도 가시랑 디 벽에 칼랑접 신규에 줄라나시 신규에 내래 단도sem는 거 직직이 장고도 라이게 디 소소 소디도 가시야 캥버디도 신규에 라줘라 가게줘라 이게 졸라된 그거는 드지체 얘기 라고던 보면
오지 군저서 가래네
딘 티스나 토지 치라 아니 응가 두둑 삼샤나 말아
Tuches.
los 심바 슈엘 하워 되네 메와 쳐라
Tuche.
나 los 토지 치 응가 두둑 삼샤